Hey, what's going on? My name is Peter Sarellas. I'm a videographer and editor from Toronto, Canada. I specialize in sports videography, and today we have a very special guest on the channel. He is an NBA and NFL content creator who specializes in specifically capturing moments for athletes and artists. He's also the personal videographer for NBA superstar D'Angelo Russell, and today he's here to talk to you about how to create a career in sports videography and what it's like to film for some of the biggest names in sports. Please welcome to the channel, Logan Linkmeyer.
Yo, what's up, Peter? Thank you so much for having me on, bro. I'm really a big fan of your channel, just because we don't really have a trailblazer kind of showing the general public what it's like being a content creator, how to do tutorials of like different videos that are being made. Like, we don't have that like Peter McKinnon style person, and you're just doing it your own way, and I really like it. So when you hit me to collaborate on this video, I instantly was like, yeah, let's do it. So why should like people who are watching, like, why should you stick around? Because like, I don't know you, who are you? So let me just dive into it a little bit. My name is Logan Linkmeyer, and I'm a content creator that specializes in shooting for NBA athletes, some NFL athletes, and some artists. But what does a typical day look like as an NBA player's content creator? Well, for the NBA, it looks a little bit different pre-COVID than it does during COVID. So pre-COVID, I would get to ride to the games with the players, get to shoot them like in the car, whether they're listening to music, whether they're more of a person that just sits there in silence. So that was really cool because then you get to walk in with them, you get to film their like little player walk-in, stuff like that, which is super dope. But since COVID has been around, that's kind of like tweaked a little bit, and you can't really ride with players to games, and it's just like a lot more like tight and strict. I also shoot a lot of lifestyle stuff with players, and that's stuff what I really like to shoot, because you get to, you know, be around the players, their families, their friends, which are most of the time other NBA athletes. You could expand your network, and most of the time all of these players are just super cool, down-to-earth, humble guys, and they're just as interested in you as you are in them. And just getting to see that live in real time and go and share these moments with them, nothing like it. Like, being able to capture, like, say, like a vacation or a trip or an all-star break or something, and being able to have all that footage to where they can look on it when they're 50, like, that is so insane to me and so dope, because my life moves really fast working with these players, and they're traveling every day. They have a game every other day, like stuff like that. I can't imagine how fast their life actually moves to them. So just being able to like have all those little moments they can like have, it's just, for me, I think it's essential for every player, and I just think it's super dope, especially when you can like be around players that you're actually friends with and vibe with. Like, nothing better. How did you get into video editing, and what led you to your current career capturing moments for NBA stars? This is a question that I feel like I get asked a lot, and I don't want, however I answer, I don't want you to hang your hat on it, because it's super unique to whoever you are. It doesn't matter like how you start, how you're like, where you're at now. It's like, that doesn't matter. Like, all that matters is that you're trying to be better and trying to be a better version of yourself as a creator, and like you're on the right path, and everyone's journey looks different. So for me, I started this when I was in high school. I had like a media class every Wednesday, shout out to Mrs. Strimple, and we would just film stuff, and I started liking it a little bit more, but then I started college and I was like, screw it, I'm doing accounting, and then I hated it. Made like this like ESPN 30 for 30 type video that was obviously fake. It was terrible. It like kind of went like low-key viral in our school, and that was the reason that I was like, screw it, I want to make videos. So I dropped out of accounting, and here we are. Started like pursuing more like travel videography and doing things like of that nature, and that's kind of when I started like getting noticed. And I still had like 2,000 followers on Instagram, like 100 on YouTube, so I wasn't like big time. So like, don't think like you have to have so many thousands of people following you like to get noticed, which you don't. So yeah, just remember that everyone starts somewhere, so it doesn't matter where you're at. Just like keep following your dreams and just keep going. What was it like filming your first NBA game? Any fun or interesting work stories? My first NBA game. Start off with the backstory. My first NBA game, going into the 2019-2020 season, you got like the new look Warriors. You got Steph, D'Lo, injured Klay Thompson, Draymond's still there, KD's on the Nets. Then you have like the new look Clippers. You got like Paul George, you got Kawhi. And then also on top of all that, you got the new arena inside San Francisco, which is the Chase Center. I've never seen more like cameras, more media outlets than I ever have on that first night of the Chase Center. And it was super dope to me, like just being there. Like I got my small like handheld camera, like all these networks looking at me like, who is this guy? And I'm just over here filming, doing my thing, capturing moments. And I remember like pointing the camera on me, and I'm like, wow, this is real. Like I was cheesing, bro. It was so cool. And then another moment from that day is like D's walking out after his warm-ups. He like looks back and it gives me like a head nod. I'm like, dang, like that's so crazy. And I have moments like that all the time. Super cool. Like in that book video, I don't know if he's shown it to you or not, but like Book's became one of my good friends now. And him, I'm like filming this warm-ups in the Suns, and Book like looks up to me. He's like, yo, Link, run the tape. Boom, does a windmill, like points up at me and nods, like stuff like that. It's just like, what does your editing process look like? Well, my editing process was very different for like game stuff and then like lifestyle stuff. Like for game stuff, I'll go to the game, come home, upload it, organize it, and then I usually just find what I want to create. So like if it's just like my Instagram stuff, I'll just find the best plays, edit it, take me an hour to color it, all that stuff, put it on Instagram. But if it's like a lifestyle stuff, it's a lot more in-depth, a lot more like planning and storytelling going on. I usually like to like start off with like a heavy hitter. So like with that one, you have like him talking about like he has the best job ever. And then it goes into like some like hero shots, like him on the Warriors, and then boom, it's like Steph Curry, and then like all this stuff, him talking to the camera, just a bunch of like crazy moments. And it's like, for me, doing stuff like that, it's like you start off with shots that grab the attention, because nowadays like people get lost and they're like, all right, this sucks, 2 seconds in, what's next? So if you get him talking and like saying something that's really impactful, like that's really what I like to start off my edits with, especially when it's like long form content like that. And I think that I really captured that in that like trade video. And then if you look at the 2020 video that we dropped together, that's another one. I think it kind of started off a little slower, but then like it's the more you get into it, the more like each chapter like brings him talking and like more stuff. So I really like those two videos, especially is just talking about like how I edit and like how long those two take. Like it took months, like going through footage and getting the songs right and like the transitions and just everything. Like I can't imagine 80, 90, 100 plus hours. I couldn't tell you. I want to see myself in the future. I just want to be a better storyteller. So like you always see people like with the crazy transitions and the light leaks and everything, and like that's super cool and it's super unique to each person. But for me, I just want to be better at what I'm doing now, and that's just being a better storyteller. And then I'm like more of a fan of just like seamless transitions. So like transitions that you don't even know are happening that are happening. And I think in the whole basketball world, I don't know, like there's not many people that are doing it yet. So I think that's kind of where I just see myself going. I really enjoy those kind of transitions and other aspects of like filmmaking. But I always want to just be humble and be myself and not like get caught up in like, oh my gosh, how many followers do I have? Because that stuff's just so lame. Like, it doesn't matter. Any final tips, advice you have for people who are looking to build a career in sports creation? One, there's like a big thing now where it's like you can't imitate anybody else, or it's like shunned, or it's like there's so many people that are imitating so many good people that it's like, wow, bro, like find your own style. So for me, I'm looking at that and it's like everybody starts somewhere. And if you look at filmmaking and a lot of like traditional filmmaking, like movies, like so many shots in movies are inspired by other shots in movies. And the same way with like Instagram and stuff, it's just like a lot of saturation now. But you can like look at like, we'll say Cool Mac, somebody who has a very unique style, very cool, like great filmmaker, great photographer. A lot of people have like copied and adopted his style. And the problem isn't that you've like tried to imitate it. The problem is that like that's like what you think your style is now, and that's like the problem, because now you're not pushing yourself to like be better, like not better than him, but like find your own style. It's cool to like look at a filmmaker, be inspired, and to like push the envelope and like see how they do it and then make it your own, because then you're challenging yourself and then you're going to eventually use that to become your own style and own filmmaker. And I think that's like where we've like fallen off, is like putting us all in the same box, is that we just see something we like and we just like, oh, I'm gonna steal that, and then you just do it, and that's all you do. And then you don't ever like push the envelope for yourself, and you don't ever learn. So one, don't be afraid to imitate somebody else, but two, just because you are, don't let that trap you, and just be like in that box. Constantly be learning, constantly be growing. Networking is huge. You can't do anything in this like whole realm of sports without networking, because you're gonna have to like work with other people. Like that's super huge. And then other than that, just be yourself. Doesn't matter who you're working for or what you're doing. Be yourself and be proud of your work. I don't care if you're doing something for your friend down the street or for Drake. It really doesn't matter. Just be yourself and take pride in your work. But yeah, it's been fun. I really appreciate Peter. I appreciate you for allowing me to be on the show. And yeah, hit me on Instagram if you guys have any questions. Check out my YouTube if you want to see what I'm doing on there. But just keep going, keep inspiring, keep living. Peace.
Logan, thank you so much for coming on the channel and sharing all of your experience with everyone. I know I learned a lot from listening to this, so I'm sure that everyone listening learned a lot as well. Go check out Logan's socials. They are linked in the description. His YouTube channel is popping off right now. He has these really entertaining, informative vlogs, and the Instagram is basically just like an NBA highlight reel. It's like actually really entertaining, so highly recommend it. And if you like this video, then make sure to subscribe to me, because I post videography and video editing tips and tutorial videos similar to this one on a regular basis. I usually don't have features on the channel. This was a special occasion. It's usually just me talking. But if you like this, I think that you're gonna like the rest of my videos too, so consider sticking around. Anyways, that's gonna be all for this video. So until next time, peace.